Alright, it's pretty bit windy here, but that's okay. It's a nice spot. Do a little spin around so you guys can see. That's pretty good. I don't know how that looks. Whatever. Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about hiring an employee. So at the moment I'm going through the process hiring. Well, it's not the first time I've hired an employee. I've had plenty of employees before, but it's the first one that I'm hiring for the business that I have in Brisbane. And I'm going to go through, talk about, for the most part, how to advertise, but how to deal with the applicants as well. And I just posted a video talking about how to get a job in an apartment, and that was in response to this ad and this process of finding someone to work for me. And yeah, because it's pretty bad. And what to look for, and how to get your first employee, a good employee. So, first thing, and I say this all the time, is you have to start with the question, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? And you can add a secondary question, why you're looking for that, okay? Because it's important to have a really strong reason for wanting that. Otherwise, you're not going to take the steps necessary to get that. So what do you want? And so that's the first thing you need to do is sit down, get a pen and paper out, whatever, but write down what it is you're actually looking for as an outcome. Okay, not what you think you're looking for, what is the outcome that you're looking for, okay? And so I'm just going to use my example. So what I'm looking for is, I'm looking to be able to train someone who can manage my whole operation in Brisbane, because currently I'm travelling like about an hour each way to continue doing this, and I just want to focus on expanding new business here on the Gold Coast where I'm now living, and I want someone who can take responsibility for the operation in Brisbane. So that's what I'm looking for. And with that in mind, then I can go into further details about the type of person, what skills or qualities they're going to need to have, and then we can go from there. So I'll go into the advert that I ran and how I kind of broke it down, and yeah, alright, let's get started. So I just make an introduction about myself. Hello, I operate an established lawn care business in, and I say the area, so the suburb areas in Brisbane that I'm operating in. Now, that's the first thing. That's just a quick introduction about myself. Next thing is, I explain the position briefly. Oh, I forgot to mention the title. So, for the title, I said lawn care assistant in this area, so the suburbs area. And that's what I did. So, then I outline briefly what is the position, okay? So, in this case, I have a position available, and if you are in a bigger business, or you can say we, okay? We is kind of nicer in a lot of ways, but anyway, this one's kind of personal. I have a position available for a lawn care assistant for approximately 12 hours per week, every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm outlining what is actually on offer here, okay? The hours, and that is definitely a minimum amount of hours. I don't want to, it is a part-time position, so I don't want to overpromise. I don't want to go and say, this is for 25 hours per week when I don't have 25 hours per week to offer. That's just going to upset someone and not give them what they want. So I put a minimum, and there are more hours than that, but I want them to be happy to be able to accept the minimum. Okay, so that's the introduction. That is the introduction to the position. So the next thing is to outline what are the key responsibilities. So what does the job entail? What is this person going to be doing, so that they know exactly what the work is that they're going to need to be doing. So now I have key responsibilities will include operating equipment, self-propelled lawnmower, whippersnipper, line trimmer in the United States, leaf blower, hedge trimmer, sprayer. Using basic software on an iPhone, I use scheduling software, and they'll need to be using that. So, and driving a van. I operate out of a van, so when they are on their own and in part of the training, once they progress through the training steps, they're going to need to start driving the van themselves. So if you don't outline this, the person needs to know this, and you need to know that the person is capable of doing these things. If someone is nervous and doesn't want to operate a van, doesn't want to drive a van, or doesn't want to operate a self-propelled mower, then you can't take them on for the job, because they're not going to be able to do it. So it's really important to outline that stuff. Okay, and then I go into what you can expect. So this is just outlining kind of the work environment and that type of thing for the employee so that they get a feel of what you're about, whether it's for them or not. Because you really want to, this process is really about sifting and sorting and screening. It's about dissuading as many applicants as you can who are not going to fit the position, because it takes time to go through all of this. So that is a big part of it. And also to encourage the type of person that the position is for, okay? So now I put what you can expect. A supportive working environment. So this is very, very important to me. As a business owner, if you have staff, your staff are critical to your business. And I'm a big proponent of sticking up for my staff and giving them the support they need. I've been in jobs where employers are just basically assholes, and it sucks. No one wants to work for someone like that, and you'll never give your best, and you'll never offer your best services and work to that person because you don't like them or whatever. And it's, you want someone who you want to support the people that work for you. All right, they're paying your bills, they're taking care of your business for you, so that's an important part for me. And I just want to point out that this is just this. I'm saying this advert that I've written. This is for myself personally, and really, like I always say, it comes down to what do you actually want for yourself and your business. You need to be really, really clear on that, because just because I want it doesn't mean you want it. So yeah, you really need to be clear on that so that you can write a really, really quality advertisement for finding staff. So full training to learn the skills required. So that's what they can expect. They can expect me to give them full training. So that, again, it kind of comes into the support, so that they know they're going to get support and training to teach them what they need to know. Okay, $25 per hour starting rate with periodic pay rate assessments and incentives. Now, this is a thing for me. So, I mean, that's an okay pay rate, but I don't want to pay someone $25 an hour. I want to pay them more. I want someone to be able to get paid well. And I mean, that's just for specific to this area. Just, maybe where you are it's $12, maybe where you are it's $20, maybe where you are it's $40. I don't know, but whatever the rate is, I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to money, people can get funny. But it's really important from my point of view, that when you're advertising a position for a job, like, the nature of the relationship is a working relationship, and it's about money for the person who's working for you. So I really don't like it when people kind of withhold information about what you can expect to be paid, and you go all the way through an application and eventually you have to, or you don't go all the way through to the end, so they don't reveal what they are willing to pay you until right at the end, or you have to ask yourself. So I'm not a fan of that. I feel like, from my point of view, people are working for money, and I feel like it's important to be upfront about that. So yeah, like I say, $25 per hour is the starting rate. I don't want to pay someone that. I want to pay them more. I want to incentivize them to do well, to do quality work, and to do the work quickly, because I make more money that way. They make more money, the employee makes more money, and I make more money as the employer. So that's what I want to do. And also I outline that periodically I'll assess the pay rate. So I'm not just going to throw them in at $25 and then that's it for the entirety of the time that they're working for me. I want to increase that pay, and I want them to know that there is the ability to increase that pay. So this part here, really, really important. You need to write down what are the non-negotiables about this employee. So what is it about them and the work they're going to do which is not negotiable? They must fulfill these requirements. So for me, the successful applicant must. Now, okay, this is something which I do on purpose, and if you saw my last video, you'll understand why, but I will quickly explain it in this again. So I write in here, so the successful applicant must, this point here, be willing to follow instructions. I'm going to stop there for a second. Now I put this in here because this eliminates 90% of the applicants. I put in this in my advertisement that you must be able to follow instructions, and then at the bottom of this advertisement, as you're going to see, I put a couple of simple instructions. So for every applicant that does not follow those instructions, I now know I do not want to employ this person, because I've said it's a requirement that you must be able to follow instructions. It's very important in order to go through the training and to learn the job properly, that this person follows instructions. So in the job application, I write, you must be able to follow instructions. I put a couple of instructions at the bottom. If they don't follow those instructions, I now know this person is not suitable for this position because they do not follow instructions. They've just demonstrated it to me. So this is a very, very important point. Keep that in mind. It's a really good tip for you for later in life if you're employing someone, or for now, whatever. But yeah, so be willing to follow instructions under supervision. So that outlines that they're going to be working with someone who is supervising them. To learn the necessary skills, and when fully trained, to work on their own with integrity and to take initiative. So I'm outlining now where this job position is leading to. So the idea for me, I said at the start of the video, is that I want to train someone to do the job as close as I can to the quality that I do it and in the time that it takes me to do the work. Now, I don't expect this person to be able to do it exactly like me because they don't own the business, they don't have the full incentive to do it. It's not about that when you employ someone, it's about trying to get someone as close as you can to how you would like things done, or you would do it yourself. So I'm outlining that they're going to get training. Once they are trained, they're going to be working on their own. So this is an important point as well, at least in this job position, is because some people don't like working on their own. And so then if someone doesn't like working on their own, then the job is not going to be suitable for them long term. So I put that in there for that reason. Now I put with integrity, so they're working on their own, they're going to be working on their own. I expect them to maintain the standards which will make very, very clear to them and train them how to achieve. I expect them to maintain those standards, so have integrity for the work. And then to take initiative. So this is a little bit of an extra part which comes later. So when you're on a client's property, that you're paying attention to things like the hedges and weeds and the other services that I offer, that this person is eventually going to need to take initiative to be looking out for those extra jobs that need doing, so that can be communicated to me and we can perform that extra work, which of course means extra income for both parties. And also to take initiative in terms of I do want this person, once they've learned all the skills and everything, I do want them to think for themselves, and to I want them to use their brain. So if there's some little problem, I don't want them to phone me up to ask what to do when they can just immediately just go and fix that problem themselves. Okay, so that is a very, very important part. The most important part of my whole advertisement is that part there, with following up with the actual instructions. So yeah, that's key for me. Okay, so the successful applicant must also enjoy physical work and the outdoors. So it's mowing lawns, it's dealing with power equipment, it's outside, it's in the heat, it's in the sun, it's in the weather. And it's physical work. If this person does not enjoy physical work, if they're an inside on the computer person, this job's not for them. So that's a must. They must enjoy that. They must be reliable. It's quite a broad term, but I need to feel like I can rely upon this person, especially when I go to leave them on their own, that they're going to turn up and they're going to perform the work and take responsibility for it. They must take pride in themselves and their work. Again, they must show integrity with the work, they need to take pride in their work, but also themselves. So I'm not after some person who, I guess it comes into a supportive working environment. Like, I want to support a person, I want them to support my business, and I want them to take pride in themselves and to have high standards for themselves, because if they have high standards for themselves, then they'll have high standards for my business. It's just people that are like that in life and towards other people and towards their environment. So that's important to me. Be able to provide one personal reference and one work reference. So references are important. You need to have someone who's got your back, someone who can vouch for you. And if someone doesn't have that, I think it kind of says quite a lot about the person. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I don't necessarily suggest this. I'm not necessarily going to contact these references. I just want to know that the person has them, but perhaps that's something you would like to do, and I do recommend that. Just because I don't do it, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. The other thing is to have a full Australian driver's license and work rights. Okay, so everything's going to be by the book. They're going to need to drive a van, so they need to have a clean driver's license, and they need to have work rights so that it can all be official. Okay, so those are the necessary things that I require from an employee. So that's clearly outlined. You would hope that gets rid of anyone who doesn't fit that criteria, but yeah, if you saw my last video, it doesn't. Okay, so then I go into the things that would put a person at an advantage. So it would be advantageous to live in and be familiar with the suburb area. Previous experience is not necessary, as full training will be provided for the right applicant. So this part here with the experience not being necessary. Now, you might assume that because it's a lawn mowing job and they're dealing with the edger and all of that sort of stuff, that I want someone that has a lot of experience, knows how to operate the equipment, all of that sort of stuff. But to me, that's not important. Because let's just say someone does have a whole bunch of experience doing this type of work. Maybe they have worked for the council, and I had applicants who had worked for councils. Maybe they worked on commercial properties and where the standard isn't as high, okay? So I see a lot of council guys operating the edges and mowers and that sort of stuff, and the quality level of that work is not particularly high, and that's not what I'm looking for. Like, for me, I'm all about high quality work. That is the most important thing for me. I want to perform high quality work for high quality clients. And so I don't want someone who has been through years. Let's say someone's been working for 5 years for the council and they've been doing the same job for 5 years. Sure, they've learned how to use the equipment, but they haven't learned to use it in the way that I want them to use it, which is with really high precision and high quality. So the reason I don't want this person is because it's really hard to unlearn things. It's really hard to break habits. And so a person who has been doing this for a long period of time, it's going to be very, very difficult to then go and train them to do it in the way that I want it done. So that's why I point out that previous experience is not necessary, because to me it's more important that this person enjoys physical work in the outdoors, and I can then train them to do the things that are the way that I want them done. Okay, and then just to finish up, I put, to apply, please email me with a few details about yourself, what your current commitments are, and why you think you would be well suited for the position. And I say thanks. Now, this is the key. This is the instruction. Remember, I've said earlier, follow instructions. They must be able to follow instructions. So here is the instruction. To apply, email me with a few details about yourself, what your current commitments are, and why you think you'd be well suited for the position. So I'm not asking a lot. I need to know what their other current commitments are, especially because I'm only offering a part-time position. If I'm offering a full-time position, it's not so important, because you can more fairly assume that people are available for you, basically. But if you're offering a part-time position, you can't expect this to be the only thing that this person is doing, and so they probably have other commitments. So what are those commitments? You need to know that. And just a little thing why you'd be well suited for the position, and just a few details about yourself. So that really isn't much. It's very, very basic. And yeah, so this is my real test, is this part here. Does this person follow instructions? Or do the applicants follow instructions? And yeah, so it's unbelievable. The answer to that question is almost no. 95% of people just send through a CV or resume. It just outlines all their work. They don't even bother to send any little message to say, hi, just applying for this job, or anything. No effort whatsoever. I swear, like, almost no one does it. It's unbelievable. I don't know if anyone else out there who employs people is, I'm sure you've gone through this experience. I really can't believe it. But yeah, that's how I have advertised for this position, and I'm pretty happy with that ad. I think it's a good ad, and it's really just, for me, it's about sifting through all of the rubbish no offense to those people, but they're terrible applicants, to get to the really like the cream of the crop. Who are the good people who are going to suit what I want. And now I just wanted to also make a quick point. So like I said, 95% of people just send through a CV, a resume, nothing written whatsoever, just the resume that they're sending out to 100 other jobs that they're applying for and they're not going to get, most likely. Now, I would be happy if I would be more likely to accept someone for this position who didn't even send through a resume. I mean, I didn't actually ask for a resume either. I would be more happy to accept a person who follows my instructions and only just sends through just a few details about themselves, what their commitments are, and why they think they'll be well suited for the position. I would be more willing to accept that person for this position than the person that sends through a resume. Okay? And that's because I can tell a lot more about a person from that than I can from their resume. Because people make stuff up on their resumes as well, you know? Okay, so I've been through that. Now, like I said, I got a whole lot of rubbish, hundreds of rubbish applicants, unbelievable. I would never even consider hiring any of them. And I want to just point out a couple of points. So the person that I've taken in for a trial, and see, the reason I go to all this trouble, it's only a part-time position, the reason I go to all this trouble to make such a thorough advertisement is, again, that sifting, sorting, screening process, as Jay Abraham says. I want to get rid of the rubbish. I want to just get to the 1 or 2 people who actually follow the instructions and are going to suit the position. And it's very, very clear who those people are. It makes my job really, really easy in the hiring process. So I took someone out for a trial this week, and yeah, the dude, I'm pretty sure, you know, it might not work out, but that's life, you know. But I'm pretty sure that's going to work out because of all of this work that I put in to this advertisement and that sifting process to make sure that I really just narrow it down and get that exact right person. So I'm just going to read out how this person responded. They did send through their resume. They have certain things which I like, a little bit of knowledge of engines, which is good, the skills that they outline, being reliable, honest, good communication. What else was it? I do have it here, but it's really not important. I can see that this person is a caring person, that they care about, they put in the right amount of effort, and really what it comes down to is what you might call a cover letter, even though it's just a quick email about themselves. I'm just going to read out how this person responded and then go quickly into why they're so suitable for the position. So, hi there, my name is blah blah. I'm a 20-year-old Australian citizen looking for part-time to full-time work. So I'm already aware of what this person's intentions are. They've already outlined that they're entitled to work in Australia. They're a citizen. So they've given me the information. I know that they're allowed, that they've met one of the requirements that I've said. I'm very interested in this job as I have a passion for the outdoors and nature. I would love to learn more about maintenance and keeping the outdoor areas looking neat. So I love this. This is just perfect, all right? They enjoy being outside and in nature. I love that. I would love to learn more about maintenance. It means they're interested in training and learning. I love that. And keeping the outdoor areas looking neat. They want to learn how to do the job well. Now, this sentence alone, is it one sentence? Yep, this two sentences. This sentence alone is enough for me to basically, if I was a betting man, I'm not, but if I was a betting man, I would bet on this person to that they would do the job correctly and well. It says everything I need to know, that sentence, and that's why I contacted this person. That's why they got a trial, and they don't have much experience. And I do have to show them a lot. I do have to train them. But I know this person is coachable, trainable, and they have the standard level. They will meet the standards that I need. So that sentence there outlines everything for me. And I love this little little extra as well. I've attached my resume to this message. If not received, please email me, and they left the email. Now I love this because this is just further confirmation that they're going to do things thoroughly. It's like, okay, if somehow you didn't receive my resume, let me know, because you know something's gone wrong. I love that. It's just great. It's like, yeah, and kind regards, and the person's name again. man, that is a great application. I complimented this guy on his application. I hope this works out with this person because I like this person, I like how they do things, and I have full confidence in this person. I'm happy to support this person, show them everything they need to know and to do the job correctly. And I'd love to see this person stay with my business and help me grow my business so I can help them grow as well. Fantastic stuff. So anyway, that's the process that I've gone through to advertise a position and getting what you might call my first employee. Like I say, I've hired other employees in the past, but I've been running this operation solo for about 10 months now. When my last guy left, and he was also super duper, I went through a similar process and he made it through. He was 70 years old, unbelievable, 70 years old, and he just nailed it. So yeah, I don't care about age, I don't care about any of these other things, I care about the person's attitude. It's all about that. Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say, which was, got it. So what I wanted to say was that, like I said, this is the first employee that's going to come into my business now. It's going to be the only other person working in my business. So I just wanted to point out, and I'll do another video about it later, how critical that first employee is to your business. So if the first employee you get, they set the standard for everyone else who comes into your business from that point on. I mean, you set the standard first, but then your first employee sets the standard for every other employee that comes into your business. So it's really, really important that your first hire is a really, really high quality hire, and it doesn't matter if you take your time about it, get that quality hire, because they set the standard for your business from that point on for all other employees that come into your business. And because they're your first employee, you should also have in mind, depending on what level you expect to grow your company to, that you want this person to be the type of person that can kind of rise up through whatever ranks you have, and to be a leader within that business. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helped. I've moved forward a little bit on this one. I'll come back to starting out your lawn care business, but just that's been my experience in the last kind of couple of weeks, so I thought I'd share that with you.